Now I'm still working on my warm water fly box and tied a lot of panfish flies in the last couple of days. So I broke out Stewart and Allen's Flies for Bass and Panfish, just flipping through here, and I found a pretty cool pattern called the BBX. It was created by Blane Holtz of Ontario, Canada, and he originally created it as a trout fly and officially called a beetle, but it's red and white and it shows up in this book as a panfish fly. So I'm looking at this as pretty much just a panfish fly. If you wanted to tie this as a beetle, you certainly could. You could do this exact same style. I probably wouldn't tie it in red and white, I'd just make it black foam and black legs. But I'm going with how Stewart and Allen had it in this book, which is a red and white fly, and I'm putting it in my panfish box. It's a pretty simple pattern, it uses just a little bit of foam and some rubber legs and then some Grizzly Hackle in between it. It is a quick, fun tie, but you know this thing's going to be a panfish killer. So there we go in the vise, a BBX by Blane Holtz of Ontario, which this is officially a beetle pattern and originally created for trout, but looking at this thing in the red and white colors, I kind of see this as an attractor bug or a great addition to your panfish box. That is a size 10, 1 extra long barbless dry fly hook. Let's go ahead and use some black thread, 72 denier here. I'm going to catch it in. I'm not going to take it all the way back. We're going to kind of tie that red foam piece in the middle of the fly. So 3mm red foam, and I've cut it into, kind of made it round right there, and I'm going to catch it in kind of right here in the middle. Let me drop it first and try again. It's a little bit slippery, but I'll just do a little pinch wrap right here, pinching this foam and the hook, pinch wrap with my thread, and before I let go of it, I'm going to go ahead and make several wraps because I know this thing is pretty much going to be right where I want it. Yeah, that is fine right there. Just flatten this under foam area out a little bit right there. And I'm going to leave my thread about right in the middle of that foam section there. And my legs, just white rubber. This is about a 3-inch piece. I folded it in half. And I'm going to just try and catch it in right on top to begin with 2 very loose wraps right here. Now we can do 3. Not binding it at all, but these are still, I can still move them around. So let's don't move that foam around too much. But when you get them where you like, coming off the sides for the most part there. Now what I'm going to do is several loose wraps right here. While I'm holding them in place, these are not tight wraps. I'm creating a little band in between these right here. And now after I've done enough, I can go in with some tight wraps, and they shouldn't spin around on me. Now that one coming off to your side is sticking a little bit out. I'd rather have it going a little bit back, but it's too late to worry about that now, and so I'm not going to. Next component, dry fly hackle, and it's a Grizzly, according to Blane's pattern in the book. And probably, let's see, about size to match the hook. 1.5 times the hook gap is going to be fine. I'm going to try to get 2 wraps right in between these legs, and then probably 3 or 4 up in front of them. So let's go ahead and secure this stem almost up to the eye right here. We'll snip off this little excess. And before I open up that front piece, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this hackle. So let's get our 2 wraps right here behind it. Try not to let this spin on me. It has, so I'm kind of wrapping this hackle backwards, but you know what, that's going to be just fine. So that's 2 wraps in the middle. Let's lift this up and see if we can get about 4 up in front of it. So that's 4. Actually, I want to go 1 more. I want to make this pretty heavily hackled here. All right, so let's go ahead and catch this feather off. I think this is going to work. Let's snip this excess right here. A couple of extra barbs going forward right there. And it's just a few extra wraps right here. Get us some room for our whip finish. Try not to trap any of these fibers going forward, but sometimes I do. All right, just don't get a huge head, but big enough to get our whip finish in here. And now let's take care of these legs. Okay, this one, we just need to open this one up and trim them to size. And I've got this one over here on my side. It's going a little bit up, but you know what? I'm tying this as a bluegill fly, and they really don't care. So I'm gonna just trim these legs a little bit shorter here, but that's it right there. The BBX panfish fly right here. I think this thing's gonna do great. So that's it, my friends. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.